What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. I wanted to give you an update on what was going on with my Uncle Charles. As many of you know that were either on the live stream on Sunday night or have seen it since, I had to rush him to the hospital on Sunday. He was having shortness of breath. And when I left you in the live stream, I had just finally left the hospital after being there for about 4 hours. When I left, I continued to communicate with him at the hospital. And finally, I was able to talk to a charge nurse because they were going to be transporting him from that hospital to another one that's about an hour away. And I wanted to know, like, why are they transporting him? Well, while we took him in for shortness of breath, whether this is related or not, the main issue they found was that his heart rate was low. Like, it's outside of the normal spectrum. They said it's supposed to be between 60 and 120, and he was in the 30s and 40s, sometimes the 50s, but anywhere from the 30s to the 50s, I'll just say that. And why they need to transport him is because even though this hospital that I took him to is a major hospital in our area, we have two major hospitals out here, but the cardiac care that he needs, they don't have the ultimate potential, So where they were moving him to is this Kaiser hospital that has all the latest everything. And the charge nurse insinuated or just explained that, like, hypothetically, I should say, that, like, even if you may need like a pacemaker or something like that, they have that capability at this other hospital. They don't have it. So that kind of put me at ease about the transport. And they were going to transport him. Well, you all know we were still on in the wee hours of the morning. And they were going to transport him, they said, anywhere between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. So I spoke with him, I feel like at least once. I feel like it might have been more. It might have been a couple times. Maybe the second time is when I talked to the charge nurse. I don't remember, y'all. I'm operating on very little sleep right now. But then I also had to call one of his sons. I called him probably about 5 a.m., somewhere about 5. Brought him up to speed on what was going on. And then I was trying not to go to sleep because, I thought that I would speak to him before finally they're transporting him, or he would call me and, yeah, they're about to take me now or something, anything. But that didn't happen. And then I didn't end up waking up till about 10 o'clock. And I immediately called him, and they had transported him, and he was saying, he felt okay and all of that. But I wanted him to let me speak to one of them there, because I know he doesn't really fully, he understands, don't get me wrong, but I know he doesn't understand it fully, the way that I'm going to stand there and listen and hear it, or somebody's going to talk to me and tell me, and then I can tell it to him better, because even a lot of times when I'm at the doctors with them, or I've been at hospitals with them, they say something and then he says something different back than what they said to him, that lets me know that he didn't fully understand the way they said it, you know? And, I also know that he's dealing with, nervousness and stuff like that, but this is something you're going to have to get rectified some kind of way. So he was saying that they were putting on, they were running tests and stuff down there at the other hospital, and and I talked to so when I talked to him yesterday morning, the first time that I talked to him was in the morning yesterday, like I said about 10 o'clock or whatever when I woke up, and then that's when I was saying, well, Uncle, let me talk to something. Is there somebody there that you could just put on the phone or something like that? It may not have been that one because I talked to him several times, so I'm not sure. So just go with me. Anyway, at some point when I was on the phone with him, I'll just say it like that. Then, I was like, well, maybe you could just, is there anybody you can see from wherever you're at right now? Whatever your vantage point is in your room or something like that. Just anybody I could talk to. So somebody came in. I feel like it was a doctor or a nurse. I'm not really sure what she was. But, they were saying that the main thing was the heart rate. They were concerned about the heart rate. Then in another call, I heard the doctor say, we're going to fit you, we're going to put on my, like, the probes they put on you. And then it's like a thing you just can put in your purse or your backpack or something like that. Like it's monitoring your heart rate, and he was saying you'll be able to, you can walk around, outside of your room and stuff if you want to. But you're going to wear this. And I know that's to record your heart activity. So yesterday went on, and then probably about, I kind of felt in my spirit they probably were going to be releasing him, yesterday. I just kind of felt that. And then somewhere around about 7:30 or so, I just resolved myself that, okay, he's not going to be, getting out today. So now you can try and just get some sleep, because remember, I'm in holding. I don't know what I'm doing. What are we doing? So don't go to sleep, Jedi. You don't go anywhere. Don't do stuff you got to go do because because you're in holding. So like I said, about 7:30, 8ish, maybe. I just like, okay, I guess, and I just thought, well, if he calls me back now again, then, we'll speak. But if not, then I won't call him. And then I just resolved that he's just going to at least be there tonight. That's fine. So that was fine. Then my sister called me, and then we were on the phone. And when I got off the phone, then I was just trying to get some rest. Then I spoke to him this morning, and I said, Uncle, what's going on? And he said, I'm trying to see when they go, I guess I'll find out when they're going to let me go home. I said, we're not at the part to go home yet, Uncle. I want to know, like, where's your heart rate? Like, what's going on with your heart rate, And he said, oh, they say what, nothing wrong with my heart. And I, no, it's not. Nancy, I'm trying to walk this line between, I need to know what's going on and everything's fine. I'm trying to strike that balance. I don't want him to be nervous or anything like that, but we gotta, I'm not here to not tell you what the truth is either, And I understand, he's nervous to some degree, like I say, he just turned 80 on the 16th of January. And then what was it, last year or the year before that, when I told you guys that in fact, I filmed there. There's a video here on the channel when I was at the same hospital they transported him to. What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. I'm back at Kaiser with my neighbor for cataract surgery. I told you that we came a couple weeks ago, and they weren't able to go forward with it because he had actually forgotten and eaten a muffin or something that morning. So we weren't expecting it to reschedule this quickly, but alas, it is. So today is Wednesday, and so they just finished his pre-op stuff, getting him ready, anesthesia and all that stuff. So I'm actually here. Let me turn this TV down. Met a nice Nigerian sister, by the way, named Clara. If I can accidentally get her on camera, I will. Anyways, I'm gonna turn it around so you guys can just see a little something of where I'm at. Okay. So, just to give you, and this is my TV. That's where he had his cataract surgery, and you know, Uncle Charles is old school. So, just to give you an example, of what I'm trying to express to you right now, even that time, he kept putting off the cataract surgery and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and that was fine. But then the day that he's going to do it, we had to leave here like at some ungodly hour because you had to be there like really early for check-in and pre-op and all that. So we left here before the sun came up. We arrived there while it was still dark. And we're there for several hours before now they're ready to, they took him back a couple times and sent him back out. Then finally they had him back in a bed and I was back there with them. And and then now it's coming to the moment where the doctor is there, and here she comes, and she was some Asian chick that looked like she was 5 years old. I feel like she said she was almost 50, but she looked like she was 3, and that's fine. But the first thing she asked him, "You haven't had anything to eat, have you?" He goes, "I had a muffin this morning." I just thought, what did you just say? Because no. You know that shot that Spike Lee is famous for in cinema where the room moves and the person moves forward, like that moment? This was that, y'all. I was just like, I don't know, you did not just say you ate. She was like, okay, we can't do the surgery today. Can't do it. Because something with the anesthesia and something else, and I don't know. So I know he did that on purpose. I know he did that on purpose because he just wasn't ready. And, eventually we got it done. We rescheduled and we got it done. That's fine. But this is that now. That's revisiting, like they say nothing wrong with my heart, nephew. I said, Uncle, your heart rate is low. That means it's exactly something's not right with your heart. Now we just have to find out what it is. And I try and soften and say, I'm sure it's nothing, major, but there is obviously an issue that has to be dealt with, and including my camera angle. I can't. But anyway, then he said, well, they say I'm not going to have no, I don't think they say I'm not going to have, he say I'm not going to have no pacemaker, or they said. But my point is, he brought up the pacemaker. I didn't. So that was a window in to what I suspect already, that he's trepidatious. Oh, why can't I catch the light? Because, Jedi, you need to turn this thing around. Wait, y'all. Because it's probably worse than it was, but I just can't catch the light. Anyways, whatever. So that let me know right there. That let me know, because I'm glad they kept him, because there's been other times I've taken him to the hospital and I feel like he's in and out too quick, and then we know that white evil does not stop at the doors of the emergency room or the hospital door. They're now admitting the disparity in how they treat us when it comes to our medical care, and our contact with the medical system. So all that plays a role, and I'm cognizant of all those things in this atmosphere. You understand? So I get it, but I was to that point. I was glad, like I said, that they was keeping him, because that means they're at least taking a close look. Like when he leaves the hospital, I want him most of all to feel like we know what was going on, what the prognosis, what the diagnosis is, what's the prognosis, going forward and all that. That's what I need for him, and by default and extension, it'll be good for my own temperature and blood pressure and stress levels. But so when he said, but they say I'm not gonna have to have no pacemaker, and they say nothing wrong with my heart. He said that again. I was like, Uncle, but your heart rate is low. And then I said, well, didn't I hear the lady say yesterday, or the doctor say yesterday, that you needed that they was gonna let you wear this thing, this monitor for your heart? Oh yeah, because when I was telling him, let me talk to somebody, he would just put it on speakerphone so I could hear their conversation. And then when they finish and they leave, he go, you hear that, nephew? And I said, yeah, Uncle, but you should have let me just talk to them. I think he thinks that I'm going to communicate too thoroughly, and it'll be not to his favor of what he's got going on in his mind. Like, I'm just trying to be your agent and look out for you and be in your corner, and you trying to escape the hospital. That's really what's going on. But you needed to put them on the phone. But then I don't want to tell him, Uncle, you should put them on the phone, blah, 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 blah. Because you in the hospital, I don't want to stress you out, But I'm just in a rock and a hard place, dude. Then I asked him, I said, you eat anything this morning? He said, I bring you this menu and you tell them what you want. I ordered the food, but they hadn't brought it yet. That was earlier in our first conversation this morning. Now it's a half hour later. We're still on the phone. And he said, they ain't brought my food yet. I'm about to starve to death. You can say that. Man, he'll say that in a minute. But he says it so profound. If you didn't know him, you would think he really was starving to death. And he cracks me up every time he says that. I say, Uncle, you can say that. You're not starving to death. You're not starving to death. But I said, what'd you order? He said, I ordered me an omelet and some ham. Where's my punch? I'm like, Uncle, you don't need to be eating no pork. I told you there's over 75 ailments and diseases that are directly caused by eating pork. What are you doing? And you're in the hospital. Can you just not eat the damn ham? You're in the hospital, laying in a hospital bed. I can't. So I'm in a holding pattern right now, y'all. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what we're doing. Um, he's thinking he's gonna come home today. I'm cool with that, you coming home, but you're not coming home if your heart rate is still low. I don't see them releasing him. And if they do say they're releasing him, then I definitely want to talk to somebody directly to make sure that they're saying it and it's not him saying it. Because I don't see them releasing somebody with a low heart rate. That's the whole reason why you were transported to a different facility. If it was good enough to go home, they would have just said, "Oh, well, we can transport you, or you can go home." Nah, that wasn't the case. So it's my grandmother was a heart patient, the queen of my life, queen of my existence, my grandmother. So I know some stuff. I'm not a cardiologist. I'm not a doctor. What's that? I am a doctor. For what? 15 years I've been okay. Being told by my assistant that I'm actually a doctor, a specialist in everything. Okay, yeah, I'm being told. Yeah, you got so many degrees and so many talents. You can't remember all of them. You can't remember. You can't remember. Um, but I know some things, and I know but also I'm a good listener. And when I'm in a situation like this with anybody, if I'm going to the hospital with you or to a doctor or something, I'm listening as if I'm the patient. I'm not just a tag along and I'm just, oh, well, I don't know. Ooh. No, I'm listening. I'm invested as if I'm the patient. That's just me. Why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't anybody do that? You should be able to turn to me and say, "What did the doctor say about so and so?" And I tell it to you. That's it. So, and if they transport you an hour away, can they transport you back? Like, I don't mind going to get him. Obviously, I have his car and I'll go get him. But just as a principal issue, I want to know the answers to the question of what if do they know he has a car? What if he doesn't have a car? What if nobody could come get him? What if he had no family? Are y'all transporting him back? You see, you can snatch people and transport them out, or are you bringing them back? Because there might be some little shady dealing where they transport you and it's paid for you to be transported back, but they don't, and they keep them funds. I mean, I can any evil that can be imagined, I don't put past these people. Y'all know that. If you can imagine it, it's probable. But anyway, that's where we're at. I'm in holding now. So what's today? Tuesday? It's Tuesday. So I'm in holding. I'm not can't do anything because I don't know when I'm going to get a call. And like I said, we've spoken several times today, and that's his main thing. I feel like he wants to comfort me, make me feel like nothing's wrong and everything's okay. But then I just said to him, I said, "Well, Uncle, you understand? Like, just I I need to know this stuff. Like I need to be at peace." He goes, "I know you're concerned. I know you're concerned, nephew. I know, and I appreciate that." So he got it. He knows it. He knows it already. But I pushed a little harder to, so it's not like, "Oh, I'm concerned." Like I'm concerned, and so therefore I want answers. I wanted it to be. I want you to understand that without me saying it like that, and he got it. So um, I just, I want him to come home, and but I want him to come home in a state of mind, knowing that he has come home better and that he's well, and he can just not just like, you came home too soon, and now you're going to be worried, and that's going to be extra stress on you, and in the background and stuff like that. I just don't want that. Mm. So that's the update, everybody. I just like I said, I just don't know what's going to happen because we're just in a holding pattern right now. And then the last time that we talked just a little while ago, um, which was it's gonna be an hour ago, and he called me to give me the number and the information so I could call the lab. He's wanted me to know what his lab results were. You know, it's just a regular workup though. Like it's his creatine, the kidney, the liver, the thyroid, the HDL or TL cholesterol, the total cholesterol, the triglyceride, the LGL cholesterol, because it was a robot talking, the HbA1c something, and then another one, something liver, then the blood sugar, and then apparently they tested him for COVID, which came back negative as well. But anyway, he called me to give me the number to call and the stuff that I needed to enter so I could get the lab results. And then he also said he wants me to call the news station. I said, for what, Uncle? And he was kind of worked up. He's like, I don't want to be on the phone because my blood pressure gonna go up. He was really worked up. You know, nephew, I want you to call the Channel 7 News. For what? And he said, because yesterday there was a doctor that came in and did an ultrasound on his heart. And today they're saying they don't have any record of him having an ultrasound or this doctor. Well, that made me worried. I go, do you want me to come down there right now, Uncle? He said, if you want to, but they're not going to let you up to the room. And I was like, yeah, fuck, goddamn it, COVID. Although, if you have a handgun, we don't have anything smaller than an AR-15, right? But he was really worked up over it. And then I go back and go, wait, so you're saying that there was a doctor what did the doctor do? He said, he gave me that the ultrasound, the thing that, for your heart. And I said, okay, did he, because first he was talking about the labs. So I'm like, what, did he order labs? He's like, nah, he did the, the thing, the ultrasound, the thing they do for your heart. He goes, and they telling me they don't know this doctor, and I want you to call them and tell them to get some people over here because something else. But he was getting worked up. He was like, I'm gonna go because I want my pressure to go up. But you call him. I did, but when I looked it up, there's no phone number. There's only fax, and there's only a thing to email them. And turns out this particular hospital, there's it ain't the only one, and I'm not really sure what street it's on. I know how to go to it, but I couldn't tell you what street it's on. And they're all in the same city. Whatever. I'm just going to call him first and say, look, I'm not able to. You need to tell me do you remember what street that hospital's on? Because he knows it. Because he's been going to that place since before he met me even. So I don't know, dude. I don't know. Anyways, so that's the update, everybody. I'm just going to call him now and see what state of mind is he in. Is he calmed down? And I think I'll just let him know, we'll deal with this vanishing doctor, but you're going to need to let me talk to somebody. Somebody needs to call me. If you can't get nobody coming in right now, then when somebody comes in, you need to give them this phone number and have them call me, Uncle. Have them call me. I'm not getting the full story of anything. You need to let me talk to somebody that's not you, because you can't tell it to me fully. Somebody else needs to tell me. And this also, because if this is not something to just blink your eye at. Somebody came in there and did a ultrasound on you, and they don't have any record of this person. or the procedure. Anyways,
I'm over
that's the
it.
update. So I'll be back with something, either just an update, no, he's not coming home, or there's a new development, or whatever it is, or whatever. But that's where we're at. So um, just look for me in some form later on, everybody. I'll see you then. This is the Jedi.